Hello, conversationists. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, I say a very big welcome to you. Yes, you made it to us. Please do well to subscribe, do well to like, do well to share, and try to watch all the other videos that we've uploaded before now. So we're talking about pornography. And like I said, if you're just tuning in for the very first time, just ensure that you're able to watch the other episodes that we've done on pornography so you understand where we are picking up from. Okay, and to my returning subscribers, I say a big thank you for coming back, thank you for engaging with us on these conversations. They're important. Okay, now let's roll. The last episode we we're talking about what pornography does to boys. I know we've not necessarily covered every part of it, because if we want to do that, we need to talk to people who, teenagers and people who have experienced this, whether as children, as teenagers, as adults. It's different. The experiences are different. My experience, it's likely not to be your experience, and vice versa. Okay, but let us look at you, the girl, or your sister, maybe your brother, whoever it is you're with, who you know is suffering from a sexual addiction, this pornographic addiction. You're addicted to watching porn as a teen girl, or as a teen girl. That's what this episode is about. As a teen girl, where does it start? How did you get there as a teen girl? If you're an adult now, can you be able to trace the things that took you there in your teens? Are you able to identify those things in the present teenagers that God has put in your life? Maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're a neighbor, maybe you're a caregiver, maybe you're a nanny, you're a private tutor. In whatever capacity that you get to mingle and interact with teenagers, what do you spot? What do you spot about them when it comes to pornographic addiction? Most of the time when we talk about pornographic addiction, the first thing that comes to mind is the males, right? We're talking about the boys, we're talking about the men, but the girls, is it that no one ever thinks that it affects us too? That when you become pornographically addicted, the expectations that unconsciously begin to build up in your mind and your head about certain expectations you have of men. Like when we were growing up, I realized something. I don't know about your experience, but this is mine. I don't know where this conversation came from, or this belief system came from, with us comparing uh, African men's sexual drive to that of the Europeans. Like, you hear conversations where girls think that, oh, African men, you even hear from women, like African men are more sexually desirable, sexually strong and active as compared to Western men. I've heard that a couple of many times, but I did not understand where that was coming from. All of these conversations actually contributes to the sexual expectations that a girl has. And the teenage years are those years of building that mold you up into the adults that you are. The teenagers are not up to 10 years, but they have so much to do with what determines what your 20s, your 30s will look like, and your 40s, and so on and so forth. So you look at the teenager, the average teenager that is sexually addicted, like addicted to pornographic videos and sites. How does it affect them? I really do not have a lot to say about this, not because I'm lazy to do the research, but I think the more effective research would be hearing from you, chatting with you, those of you who've been through it, those of you know of people who've been through it, girls who've lived like that, what it did to them, how it affected them, than me just going online and getting documents and all of that. I'm not saying it's not necessary, but sometimes it's just good to get the raw facts directly from people around. Chat with people like you watching me. You probably have something to say about it. But I want to say this, my observation with what I've seen among teenagers. There are these sexual expectations. There's this pedestal they've put the men in their lives, whether the men are within their age grade or high above them. By the time they're getting to their 20s, some of these expectations begin to manifest. Oh, he's supposed to be like this in bed. Now, when I listen to, I've watched some very good people and specialists that deal on African herbs and nature, and then our bodies, our sexuality, and all of that, who discuss it holistically. And I really appreciate it. And I remember one of them was doing a demonstration, and she said that we think sex, what makes sex beautiful is that is this force that you go with it like this is the best way I can describe it. Sorry, but I'm sure you know what I mean by this. So it needs this type of energy. That's when it means the man is working. That's when he's a man. And then now we've got, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, maybe to you there's nothing wrong with it, but unfortunately, we have these ideologies that we've also built on our sexual experiences, so much so that you hear now there's this new slang in the market. I don't know where you're watching from, but here in Cameroon it's a thing now that I hear. Oh, he that guy, almost even in movies I've seen it. I think I've seen it mostly in movies, not necessarily heard it around in African movies. Yes, I've heard that they say he shifted your womb. That means the sex was so good he shifted. I don't know why we use such heavy terminologies when we speak, when we're trying to express ourselves. I understand that there's a need for the use of exaggeration when you want to emphasize something, but I think that some exaggerative techniques are really extreme and they are not necessary. And don't get me wrong, I'm coming from a language background, and I know what some of those terminologies mean, but I don't still think that they are necessary and we must use them in every context. My opinion anyways. I don't know what yours is. Feel free to share. So these girls have that mentality. So when they want to test boys, that you hear them in their conversations with slangs like, he can't even do this. He's maybe, I don't know where they get this 2 minutes, 3 minutes thing from. They just hear it and they run with the narrative. They don't even understand what it means. And they don't think that terminology of a 2 minutes man, I think is a term that is used to describe somebody who is not maybe sexually active the way he is supposed to be, or maybe how long I don't know, maybe it has to do how long he's supposed to be in bed with a person, the average minutes that you're supposed to spend. But of course, it's their meaning. It's their meaning to the male folk. That thing when we say somebody is 2 minutes. If somebody has sexual problems, I think there are better terminologies that we use for such situations than referring to them as 1 minute. He's 1 minute man, 2 minute man. I don't know what all of that means. Please, I don't know if you're also one of those who is guilty of using them. Maybe we can all refrain from using such words. They're not really nice. So it ruins the lives of the teen girls because they grow this mentality, and then they have this expectation when you're not meeting it because of what they've watched. So all those sexual noises are coming from, they don't want to believe that that's just movie making, and those people are out there counting their monies while you're here. You think that the same noise, those I call them artificial moanings that are coming from those actresses, those porn stars, you expect that a man is supposed to take you to that point. As a teen, it's happening. And so by the time you're in your early 20s, you have all manner of interpretation of what you've read and what you've seen on TV, and the noise they are making. Oh my God, it feels so good, the way they are moaning, the way they are screaming. And you want the person or the man in your life to reciprocate with the same energy. I can't say more than what I've said right at this stage, at this point. Hopefully we'll get to have conversations with people who are well abreast with these subjects. But for now, I'd like to say thank you for watching. Please do drop your comments in the comment section. Remember to keep it as respectful as always. I'll see you next time. Ciao.